How I outsmarted my cheating wife and took back my life. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us. Today I want to share a story that's personal, raw, and honestly something I never thought I'd be telling. My name is Ethan, and for 10 years I was married to a woman named Natalie. If you had asked me 5 years ago how my marriage was, I would have told you it was good. Maybe even great. I believed in us. I thought we had a future. But what I didn't realize was that the person I loved, the one I built a life with, had her own secret plans. She was preparing to leave me, and she thought she'd walk away with half of everything. What she didn't count on was that I was already 3 steps ahead. Let me back up a bit. When Natalie and I first met, she was sweet, kind, and affectionate. She made me feel like I was the luckiest man alive. She used to brag about me to her friends, smile when I walked into the room, and even the smallest moments with her felt like something out of a dream. But over time that changed. Subtly at first. She began making little jabs, disguised as jokes. First I laughed it off. Who doesn't tease their spouse now and then? But it wasn't just teasing. It grew sharper, crueler. Soon everything I did was compared to someone else. Why can't you be more ambitious like James from accounting? Kevin just took his wife to the Maldives. Must be nice. Frank knows how to fix everything around the house. You should learn a thing or two. It didn't matter what I did. If I worked late, I was neglecting her. If I came home early, I lacked ambition. If I bought her gifts, I was wasting money. If I didn't care. There was no winning. And believe me, I tried. I bent over backward to be the man she said she wanted. But it was never enough. The only reason I didn't walk away was because of our daughter. I couldn't stomach the idea of her growing up in a broken home. So I stayed. I tolerated the emotional games, the criticism, and the silence. I stayed because of her. Then, one Saturday afternoon changed everything. I was lounging on the couch, scrolling through my phone, when my daughter walked up to me with that wide, innocent smile kids get when they're about to ask for something. "Daddy, can we get ice cream?" she asked sweetly. I chuckled and shook my head. "Sweetheart, we've talked about this. Too much sugar isn't good for you." She didn't pout or try to negotiate like she normally would. Instead, she shrugged and said something that made my blood run cold. "That's okay. Uncle Ben always gets me ice cream." My heart stopped. I stayed calm. Forced a smile. "Uncle Ben?" Asked casually. She nodded. "Yeah. Mommy's friend. He comes over when you're at work. He brings me ice cream and cookies." She said it with such innocence, like it was the most normal thing in the world. I didn't react outwardly. I just smiled and said, "Oh, that's nice of him." She ran off to play, none the wiser. But inside I was shaken. My wife had a man coming to our house when I wasn't around. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead I started watching, really watching. And what I saw confirmed every suspicion that had been bubbling under the surface. She was leaving the house more often, always with a vague excuse. Going to the gym, running errands, last-minute plans with friends she'd never mentioned before. These gym sessions would last 4 or 5 hours. She got defensive if I asked even the simplest questions. Her phone was always on silent, always face down. She took it everywhere, even the bathroom. It was clear, she was hiding something. And then came the turning point. One evening I was at my desk jotting down notes. My pen ran dry, and I started rummaging around for a spare. That's when I saw her purse sitting open on the dresser. I reached in without thinking and felt a small plastic bottle. Prescription. The name of the medication didn't look familiar. I searched it on my phone. The results stopped me cold. It was used to treat sexually transmitted infections. We hadn't been intimate in months. If she needed that medication, there was only one explanation. Again, I didn't confront her. I didn't rage. I didn't cry. I did something better. I got smart. Texas is a fault-based divorce state. If one spouse is caught cheating, the consequences are severe. No alimony. Possible damages. Custody rulings skewed in favor of the innocent spouse. So I lawyered up. My attorney walked me through exactly what I needed. Proof. documented, time-stamped, undeniable evidence of her infidelity and parental neglect. That's when I hired a private investigator. For the next month he followed her. What he uncovered confirmed everything. There were photos, dozens of them, of her meeting the same man. They went to restaurants, parks, even hotels. But what made my blood boil was the footage of her bringing him into our home while I was at work. That wasn't just betrayal. It was disrespect on a whole different level. And our daughter, she was collateral damage to Natalie. Left alone while Natalie snuck out. Missed bedtime stories, skipped dinners. Natalie didn't just cheat on me. She checked out of motherhood. That gave me leverage. My attorney helped me prepare for the next move. Full custody. But before that, I had to secure our finances. If I filed for divorce while our assets were still jointly held, she could take half. So I acted. I transferred everything I could into legally protected accounts under my daughter's name. College funds, inheritance trusts. On paper, the money belonged to our daughter, not me. And as long as I retained custodianship, I still controlled it. She couldn't touch a cent. Then one night, Natalie hit her limit. "I want a divorce," she said coldly, arms folded like she was ready for a fight. But I didn't flinch. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Okay." She wasn't expecting that. She blinked, hesitated. She thought she held the cards. But the next morning, before she could talk about dividing anything fairly, my lawyer delivered the divorce papers to her. She was still in her robe, sipping coffee when she read them. Her expression changed instantly. Not only was she not getting alimony, she might have to pay me. When the court proceedings began, Natalie still acted like she had a chance. But my PI had done his job well. There were photos, video, timestamps. It was airtight. Then came the kicker, the medication bottle. I had taken photos of it, and when my lawyer presented that evidence in court, she turned ghost white. The judge was disgusted. When it came to custody, my attorney laid out the case. The late nights, the neglect, the Uncle Ben visits, the abandonment. The judge didn't hesitate. Full custody granted to me. No shared parenting. No weekends. Just supervised visits. And Natalie. She walked out of that courtroom with nothing. She had expected to be the one leaving me in ruins. But by the end, she was the one left destroyed. She tried reaching out afterward. Text, voicemails. Suddenly full of regret. She talked about our good years. About making a mistake. But it was too late. Regret means nothing when it only shows up after the consequences do. She lost her marriage. She lost her daughter. And she lost every illusion she had about being in control. As for me, I rebuilt. I moved forward. And I did it with my daughter by my side. Safe, loved, and free from the dysfunction we used to live in. Some betrayals break your heart. Others awaken you. Thanks for listening.